Oh, hello friends, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at about functions. So our last one, I did the click on the look ahead so that I could look at all the failing errors that are ahead of us. And so that just made it so that this changed a little bit. So here what they're saying is we want to move on to about functions.js. Well, here we are in about arrays and we've completed this whole file. So what we want to do is open that. So you could go through your desktop and go through JavaScript Koans and open them like this, where you would have about functions here. That would be one way to open this. You could drag it into your Atom file. You could press Command and the / key, which would get you into the project file structure. And here you could be like open about functions, or I'm going to press Command. You can press Command P. P. Functions. Okay, I don't remember exactly how you do that. It's just the hotkeys. I've been working with other text editors recently, so. Okay, so about functions, line 9. Here we go. About functions. So here, it should declare a function. So function of add, and then it takes a parameter of a and b, and then it returns a plus b. So we expect this function, add 1, 2, to be fill me in. Well, 1 plus 2 is 3, right? Cool. Now let's look at this from the console again. So I'm going to press Command Alt I, or you can go inspect, right click and then click inspect, and then go to the console. So what are we doing here? Well, what we're doing is we're declaring a function called add, and then we have add right here. You'll see if you do that, the console will read out that it's a function, and so add, and then what we want to do is pass in parameters. So if we go 1 and 2, then it renders out to 3. So we save a as 1 becomes a and 2 becomes b, and then we return a plus b. So 1 plus 2 is 3. And that's how we define a function and then pass it in. So this should be passing. So if I were to save this and refresh this page, we would see that we are now failing on line 24, which is good. So our next thing that we want to edit is going to be here. And so we just need to look into this. Now, you'll notice that this function add is within the scope of this test case. So add is not going to be available here. So here it says it should know internal variables override outer variables. Okay, cool. So here, their message is equal to outer, and we set a function get message, and then it returns message. So function override message here. So then they set a variable within the function in which message becomes equal to the inner, and then they return the message. So if you were to run this function, it's going to take the message from out here. Whereas if you take this, run this function, message will be overridden by becoming in there. So get message is going to be outer, and then override message is going to be inner. And when you're doing this, make sure you have the proper case, otherwise it won't work. Expect message. So what's it saying here? They're expecting the message. Well, the message was set here, but it won't override this guy, I don't think. I think it should be still outer here. So I'm just going to type in outer here, and we'll save this and see if it works. So we were at line 24 was our last problem, and we'll see what happens now. So I scroll down and scroll across, and now our error is on line 38. Cool. And so 38 is down here. That tells me that we got this all right. So let's just do this in the REPL real quick, just so you can see. So here we define the message. Here we define a get message function. And then so get message will print out just outer because that's the variable that it has. Now if we do override message, we'll see that we still can do message is still a variable that renders out to outer. Get message still renders out to outer. But if we were to call override message, it's going to render out to inner, and message doesn't change. So that's just, that's kind of so that you get to know that internal variables override outer variables. So yeah, let's keep moving on. Okay, now our next failure is on line 38, which is down here. And here they should have lexical scoping. Okay, so here they say a variable is set to top level, and we have a parent function. And inside the parent function, we have a variable is equal to local. And in here, a child function, which returns variable, and then we return the child function. So it's going to return the variable. So here we're expect parent function. We're calling parent function to be fill me in. So parent function is going to set a variable to local, and then the child function is going to return the variable. And I think that it's going to return local here, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm pretty sure though. So yeah, I guess we should just save that. I mean, what we could do is go back into here and then say variable is equal to top level, and then we can set this function. Okay, so now we've just stored these in memory, so they always return undefined. But we could call variable, and it's going to say top level, and if we call parent function, it's going to say local. So yeah, parent function is equal to local. Cool, so we save that and refresh the page, and it looks like we're failing on to the next function. So about functions line 55. Cool, so here we go. Should use lexical scoping to synthesize functions. Make mystery function. So here we're setting a function, and why this is down here, I'm not sure. That should be up there. So new function is equal to do mysterious thing with a parameter. And that should be up here too. Maker value, so it's going to take whatever is passed in plus a param. And the param is going to be, I guess, whatever, new function. Mystery function 3 is equal to make mystery function 3. Make mystery function, we're passing in 3 as the value. Maker value. Mystery function 5 is make mystery function 3. Okay, and we expect mystery function 3 at 10 plus mystery function at 5. I honestly don't quite understand what's going on here. We do that, and then we set this guy to here. So we've saved the function. Now we've saved a variable as the result of a function. And my guess is that it just feeds in, it just makes it so that it's that. So, but where does the param come in? Anyways, we can run it out like this. Copy that and paste this in here, and that gives us 23. Maker value plus param. We set the value to 3, and the new function is equal to 5. So, but here we've got 3 is 3 plus 5 plus 10 plus 5. It's 8, 13, 23. Okay, so this is just a really complex way to add a bunch of numbers together. Weird. Okay, cool. I save that, and we'll move on to the next one. Oh, wait, maybe I should just check to see. So, line 53. So essentially what this is doing is making functions and then passing in the value. And then when we create a new one, it's just returning this function with the maker value instilled in it. And so essentially this is just adding those 3 numbers together. So yeah, let's refresh the page. And it looks like now we're failing on about functions line 62, which means that we've completed this one because this test is passing. So I'll scroll down a little bit more, and our failure is on line 62 here. So here we have a function, return the first argument, and it's the first argument, and it returns the first argument. This is the silliest thing ever. Yeah, so what is return the first argument going to be? Well, if we pass in 3 argument, it's going to return the first. Okay, cool. So if we put that into the console, and then we say return first arg, and then, yeah, first, second, third, just like here, it's going to return first. So that's what we wrote in. So return the second argument, give only one argument, to be, my guess is that this will be null. Yeah, but I don't know. Let's see, let's throw it in here. Second argument, and then you pass in only a single argument. It would almost seem like that would be an error, but it's not. Undefined, okay, cool. Undefined. So this is how you always figure these out. You can just print them out to the console. And then here, return all arguments. So we say var args array is equal to an empty array. And for I, you can see that there's a function. This is a built-in JavaScript thing where you go arguments, and here, that prints them out here. Let's see, we could go console.log arguments. And then right next to the arguments, we'll just say something like arguments printed here. Cool. And then it wants to return the arguments with a comma set up there. That's weird. 62. Is that the right one? 62. Okay. Well, let's just save this for now, and I'm going to rerun it, and we should see something pop up in the console in the browser because I put a console log here. So let's refresh the page. Cool. And this shows us that the arguments is here. So here they have first, second, third, and then a callee and a function. So this is just some weird JavaScript stuff that I don't completely understand. But this is what happens when you print out arguments. And then you'll see my string here is arguments printed here. So this is the arguments. This is what happens with the arguments. And you can see it's an array with 1, 2, 3 arguments, and then it looks like a function on the end. So yeah, arguments.length, that means it's going to go 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, and it's going to push each of them in. So what do you think is going to happen? Well, return args array, 1, 2, 3. Well, I mean, the best way to find this out is to throw this into a console, or into our console, and then call the function. Cool. So what it's done is it's taken the arguments, which is this array, and it's here it goes .join with a comma separating the values, right? So it's going to take each of the values and then put them together into a single string separated by commas. So it's going to be like that. So we're going to want to do a string, and it's going to be first, second, third. Cool. If we save that and refresh the page, we should see that we are now on to expect John rules to be filled in this value. So about functions, JS 92. So we might as well scroll down. This looks like the last one. 92. So here's where our thing is failing. So here we have, it should pass functions as values. So append rules is equal to a function with a parameter of name. And so it says whatever rules. And append double rules. So return totally rules. So, oh, and this is just another way to write a function. There's no difference between this and this. It's just simply, I don't know. JavaScript has different ways to do everything. So yeah, so this is just another way of doing that. So let's leave it like this. So here you have append rules. So praise singer dot give praise dot append rules to be John. We know that the answer is going to be John rules with an exclamation point, but why is there this praise singer here? Oh, okay, I missed this little part of the function. Praise singer is equal to a block or a hash with give praise. So praise singer dot give praise, and give praise is equal to append rules. So here what we're doing is creating an object, and the key is the name of, or is the value. So when we say praise singer, we say dot give praise, and that returns a praise singer. Okay, let me do this in here. Let's just pipe these into our console. So now we have these two variables, and then we have praise singer. And so if we look at the praise singer object, it gives us a object with two elements in it. Yeah, with a single object in it, give praise. And the give praise, what results from calling that is a function here. And so that's that. So when we say praise singer, give praise John, it is going to say, get to this function and then call it on a string of called John. And so when we do that, it says John rules. And yeah, I know the answer has been here the whole time. This is the reason that we're going through it like this is just so that we really internalize what's going on here. And so give praise, append double rules. So here we've got our praise singer object. You'll notice it right now. It's just give praise, and it has a single key value pair, key, and then the value is the function. Here we're saying add to it, right? So now we've got praise singer. So now we've added it. So praise singer dot give praise. We're adding give praise as append double rules, which is this guy, append double rules, which means it's going to come out to totally rules. So now if we were to look at praise singer, we're going to see that there's give praise. Oh, I guess it just overrode it. Give praise Give praise, give praise. Okay, so what we've done is overrode it so that the exact same thing happens. It's funny that they overrode it. So Mary totally rules. So that would be Mary totally rules right here. I mean, I would be tempted to say like praise singer, and then you could make a function like programmer is equal to, and then we could just make it a string. It doesn't have to be a function. Useful programmer. And now you'll see that our object has two values. There's useful programmer and give praise. And so we could still do Mary give praise. You see, it works like that as well. I hope that makes sense. I might be going into the details of how objects work, but this is good for now. Cool. So if I save this and I refresh the page, we should be complete with our thinking about functions section. And so I hope that this helped you guys understand a little bit more about how functions work. This is super valuable stuff, and I think that it's helpful to just go through this stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next lesson.